Hi there guys, it's Leanne just checking in with some feedback on the good, the bad and the ugly of Mavenclad, the trial drug that I've just commenced. There's 9 tablets in all that I have to take over 5 days, and so tonight I've taken the last lot of 2. Tomorrow night I'll take 1, and then I have a break and I repeat the cycle in about 4 weeks. But for now, just giving you a bit of a heads up on today. I just wanted to highlight too that I'm not actually checking in with all my usual everyday MS symptoms. It's really more specific about points of difference that I may notice or experience with the drug Mavenclad. Otherwise we could make a movie, and I'm sure a lot of MS warriors out there would agree. So this morning I did learn the hard way. I didn't have the Panadol before I went to bed, and I did wake up with a headache. It wasn't anything blinding, but I think the Panadol is definitely helpful before bed. So hopefully I won't forget that tonight. And I then also noticed, I can't believe how quickly the brittle hair has kicked in. I know it doesn't look that way because I've just tried to tame it back down again before I turn the video on. And I know I don't have much hair, but it definitely feels very straw-like already, which is crazy how fast that starts to happen. So I'll be calling my beautiful friend Bron to see if she can do something with it in the meantime. And I also had some funny twitching, like almost like a really brief stitch or that shooting nerve pain in my tummy, just up and around all over the place actually, and it was brief and it went away as well. So nothing unmanageable and nothing sinister. And what else? I really made a point of, because we've got this amazing weather, of going out and just getting some sunshine with the encouragement of my beautiful man, instead of feeling, putting pressure on myself to just keep doing jobs and things that need to be done, embracing the sunshine, not sitting directly in it because you actually burn when you're on this drug. So there's a little tip. It's time to wear hats and things and get checked for sun cancers and things like that, which was one of the things I had to tick off before I could start this drug. I hadn't really mentioned that. Anyway, so yeah, I did. Last 2 days I've actually made a point of sitting outside in the sunshine under the pergola, but just feeling the warmth of the beautiful winter sun. And then I was hanging washing, so I did wear a hat. So I was a very good girl in that regard, because I did, when I went for the skin check, I actually had 8 basal cell carcinomas burnt off the top of my head, and they were a classic symptom or side effect of Gilenya as well. And I had them repeated because they hung around. So I certainly don't want them again. I didn't feel any real nausea as such, so I ate and drank, kept my fluids up. I was a good girl in that regard. As the afternoon went on, I did feel more fatigued, and I'm going to put it out there, I felt a bit flat, I must be honest, and a little bit monotone, like I was just sort of floating around, not as productive. I ended up laying down. I didn't go to sleep, but I just laid down and had a rest for a while. A little bit more emotional, I think, today, and I know I'm very prepared for that because I've heard people have felt like an emotional mess, very teary, very anxious, some depressed, and that was a worrying thing for me. But I guess what I decided was that as worrying as that is, it's a temporary thing. Apparently it passes, so it's not there for the long term, which is great. I felt a little bit lightheaded when I got up and down, so I know when we go back for the blood test, they monitor for the anemia, for the lymphocytes as well, and If they go under the 0.2, then you have to take another drug as well. So that'll all be monitored. But in the meantime, I'm just working on eating healthy, and I've got a letter to take to my GP that came from the MS nurse. I might even take a photo and put it up so you can see. It's really good because a lot of doctors aren't familiar with the drug yet, and it talks about all the precautions, the things to look for, what to do if I get a bit of an infection or anything like that. And I think that's going to be handy, so I'm going to print a few of those and just keep those handy because of my memory as well. And I've just told my husband to keep a copy as well, because there's certain things, if you have to have a blood transfusion, they have to take something out of the blood first. So there's a few little instructions there, so better to have it in a hard copy. Apart from that, in a lot of my messages, people said, "You've got this." So I've decided to make that my motto. So I do have this, I've got this, but so do you. If you have MS and you're about to trial or think of trialing the drug, you'll be okay, because there's so many people out there prepared to give lots of support and tips. You're actually not alone. And I think social media has made a very big difference compared to when I started my first drug 21 years ago, and there was no group or Facebook pages where people could give you the support or advice and tips and things like that. So there's so many things in our favor. So yeah, I've got this, you've got this, and I'll talk to you soon. After tomorrow night, I'll then leave it a few days just to see how things are before I check back in. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.